Hey everybody, it's Lycan. I am back with another video, a quick one, I think. I think it's gonna be quick. Talking about like a rough reading plan for 2024. I think I talked a little bit about some things in my video about my love of libraries and how I've been pretty consistently borrowing from the library rather than buying books in 2023. And that kind of gave me the idea of like, oh, all right, what are kind of the intentions I am going to take with me into 2024? It's a pretty, like I said, shouldn't take too long, kind of just a rough idea. I might expand on it later when I kind of look for some themes in what I want to read. I've been noticing a lot of really interesting challenges on Storygraph and some really cool challenges on like Instagram posts. One that has like stuck out to me that I'm hoping to at least try to get a lot of the prompts this year is Queer Your Reading. If you look up Queer Your Reading in the challenge section on Storygraph, you'll definitely find it. There's a lot of prompts. Seems really fun, and yeah. So, like I said, I'll probably make not necessarily a like reading goals for 2024, but we'll probably give like more ideas of what like my theme is for different reading options, books, etc. But I'm gonna start with just kind of my rough plan here. I wrote it down in a different notebook than my usual book reading notebook, and here I am doomed. Cannot find it. Aha. Okay. So, yeah, the first one, I kind of already mentioned that. In 2023, it was a big library year for me. I really loved that. It just kind of reminded me, like I used to love libraries as a kid and have like loved them for a really long time, but I feel like there's been years where I kind of didn't really visit them that often. And last year, 2023, I went to the library, I want to say like once a week. If I missed a week, I probably went twice in the next week. And it just, every time it just felt really good. I felt like more of a sense of community. The librarians are starting to get to know my like reading tastes, and so we've been having really great conversations about like book recommendations. And yeah, so 2024 I think is going to be another big year of going to the library. So yeah, that's intention number one. Next reading goal. So last year I think I put my reading goal on Storygraph for like 125 books, and surprisingly I did not think that I was going to get to that. But I actually surpassed it. I read 179 books that would include manga, graphic novel, audiobooks, physical books, ebooks. Runs the gamut of all the different types of reading that I've done. And especially with the help of the Libby app, that like helped fill in the gaps of like things that I couldn't get from the library that I usually could find on the Libby app. So either ebook or audiobook. Yeah, so this year I think I'm gonna set the goal for 169 books. And I do reading goals kind of loosely. Like sometimes I can feel that pressure of like you gotta complete this because you like set this goal and so you gotta complete it. Um, but I notice like I can go through reading slumps. Last year just was like a really good year. I didn't like for reading, so I found a lot of opportunities to like listen to audiobooks and like read in my free time that not always I have had like the opportunity for. So I'm not sure like how this next year will be different, but I'm still setting the goal pretty high. Um, there have been times where I have read 12 books. I think a few years ago when I saw that number, I was like, okay, that's good. I want to like read more. And I think that's why I've set the like goal pretty high, because I want to set the intention of like reading is really important to me. I find, um, yeah, just the wisdom and the connection of storytelling is really powerful, even if it's like a silly, cozy mystery to like nonfiction. And so I really set this intention not to be rigid or to be like I have to read like a million books, but to remind myself that I really love reading, and that can change at different times. But I really like to make it like part of my life. Um, yeah, so rough reading goal, rough plan of reading goal. Um, we'll see how it goes. Next, working through backlisted books and underhyped books. Something, so I watch a lot of like booktubers. It's like some of the inspiration that came to like start a like bookish YouTube channel. Yeah, I watch a lot of booktube videos, and I, follow, like I have my favorites. Jen Campbell, Books and Lala, who else? The Book Leo, Carrie Can Read, uh, and something, Cindy Pham, or like Cindy Reads with Cindy. Um, yeah, so many more I'm missing that I didn't like write down in my notes because I didn't think I was going to be talking about that. But yeah, so I watch a lot of BookTube, and sometimes I feel like my books, like book choices, can be so influenced, oftentimes in really great ways, like books that I would have not heard of because I'm watching these booktubers or bookstagrammers talk about them. It's like putting it on my radar, so I'm kind of like looking at the synopsis, being like, is this something that I would be into? Okay, cool, they liked it, they didn't like it, this might be something that I want to check out. And yeah, so it's like in a lot of ways that's really great, and I'm really grateful. And sometimes it can get a little monotonous, right? Like if there is really hyped books, Fourth Wing, then you're going to hear a lot about those books and maybe hear less about like underhyped or not as well known books that are still great options for reading. So I'm hoping in 2024 that I'm going to kind of still be watching a lot of BookTube, but also doing more of my own research and looking for like backlisted books, looking on my shelves of like own books that I have that I've ignored for a really long time. And yeah, trying to find more authors that are just kind of under the radar that I'll love. And yeah, so that's kind of my hope for 2024 is to still watch a lot of BookTube and do more research regarding my personal reading tastes, and find more like awesome books to read that are less well known. Reading more short story collections. I have quite a few, well, maybe not quite a few on my like owned TBR, and a few that I've gotten from the library. And sometimes I'll really avoid short story collections. And I've been thinking about why, and I'm kind of like, sometimes I get a taste of something and it's only like a few pages, and then I feel like, oh, I need more of that. I want more of that. But also, like, thinking about it, that's another great way to find more authors, or like less well-known authors, is like finding anthologies and short story collections, and that have like maybe a few authors you know, but then probably also quite a few authors that you don't know. Yeah, so my goal for this year is to kind of up the amount of short story collections I'm reading. A few that I have on my radar is Never Whistle at Night, which is like a dark indigenous like anthology, and um and then Out There Screaming, which is a like black horror anthology. And what else? I think from the library I have a copy of Africa Risen, and yeah, I'm hoping to get through that on the sooner side. And that is, I think, like black science fiction or speculative fiction. So yeah, those are just a few that I like have on hand that I definitely want to prioritize. But yeah, more short story collections. If you have recommendations of short story collections, please comment and let me know. And the last one, oh, is just a question for y'all. Like, what are your reading plans for 2024? Like I said, I'm gonna be looking at like some storygraph challenges and just reading challenges that I find on social media that kind of like pull me in. I still take it pretty loosely. Like, I don't try to force myself to accomplish like a challenge or certain number of prompts. But yeah, I would be curious what y'all are planning to do with your reading year of 2024. That's it. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Until next time, bye.